Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. Let me warn you that this episode is not funny. You might not like it. You're going to think I'm a Zionist. You're going to think I'm biased towards Israel. Regardless, I'm being honest and welcome your criticism. Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live, the truth about Israel versus Palestine. We are witnessing a perfect storm which is forming that will affect the whole world. It's a very real possibility that war between Israel and Palestinians in Gaza will grow bigger than we would like to believe, and that affects the USA. But have you ever wondered why the term Palestinian also refers to Jews prior to 1948? HSRL is a production of Safe New Media. Who this is for? This is for self-actualizers, a term I borrowed from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, agents of progress, if you will, people who are making the most of their lives. Okay, we are in the intense pursuit of accurate truth, and haters don't like it. This micro podcast live stream is not for you if you take yourself too seriously. If you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover divine and fundamental truth for yourself. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of the universe. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. In order to do that, we must use logic and reason instead of induction by irrational emotions. Today on HSRL, there is a psychological term for playing the victim in hopes of gaining sympathy. It's called victim mentality or victim playing. Victim mentality is a learned behavior and coping mechanism that involves feeling like a victim across situations, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. People with a victim mentality often feel like they have no control over what happens to them, and they may blame others or situations for the events in their lives. They may also have trouble accepting personal responsibility and may seek validation and help from others by playing the poor me card. Victim playing can be a tactic used by entire groups of people to divert attention away from their own attitudes or behavior to solicit sympathy from other entities in order to gain their assistance in supporting or enabling the persecution of their enemy. The intention being to make their enemy look like the aggressor. It can also be used by manipulators to gain pity or sympathy in order to get something from someone. Understanding this reality prevents you from being deceived by recent events. To the majority of people, what is happening in the Middle East right now seems parochial. However, we are witnessing a perfect storm which is forming that will affect the whole world. I'm sorry if this is too serious for you today, but it's my responsibility to make sure to do everything in my power to send out the right information. There is a very real possibility that war between Israel and Palestinians in Gaza will grow bigger than we would like to believe. I'm not saying we are on the brink of World War III, but judging from history, it would be foolish to rule out that possibility. After each world war, the balance of power shifted. That means USA as we know it may not end up on the top in the aftermath if such an event were to occur. This is important because so much of today's generation wasn't taught accurate history. True, typically the winners write the history books, but that's exactly my point. To put this conflict in perspective, you can't have accurate information if you only go back 75 years. That's not far enough. Here's what we will cover today: uncontested, verifiable facts. And when it's an opinion, I will tell you it's my opinion. At the end of today's broadcast, you will either be able to correct any errors in logic or dig your heels in deeper to reinforce what you already think you know. Let's start with the Romans. The Romans conquered Israel, and it was called Israel in 63 BCE when Roman General Pompey conquered Jerusalem and its surroundings. Judea and Samaria are two of the traditional divisions of ancient Israel. They're located in the southern and central parts of the region, right? Okay, in the southern and central parts of the region, respectfully, Judea and Samaria are the boundaries. The boundaries between those regions aren't clearly marked, but historically, Beersheba has been considered the southernmost limit of Judea. The Romans deposed the ruling Hasmonean dynasty, and this was in Judea, okay, current day, what we consider Palestine, which had been in power since around 140 BCE, and the Roman Senate declared Herod the Great king of the Jews in around 40 BCE. Judea proper, Samaria, and Idumea became the Roman province of Idea or Judea in 6 CE, okay, depending on how you say it. The first Jewish-Roman war began in 66 CE, and the revolt was put down by future Roman emperors, Vespasian and Titus. The siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE, the Romans destroyed much of the temple in Jerusalem, which is in Israel. The Romans also crucified 2,000 Jewish rebels. After that revolt, a huge number of Jews left Judea. This is the territory that is now considered or referred to as Palestine. Jews left that area after the Jewish revolt when the temple was destroyed in 70 CE. That's when they left. Okay. The Romans renamed Judea. Listen, the Romans renamed Judea as Palestina. It was Roman territory. In Jerusalem, they renamed to Aelia Capitolina. Got it? In my opinion, this is not a fact. Okay, this is only my opinion. One of the ways to understand a group of people is to follow the money. Now, what I'm about to tell you demonstrates that there is a lack of evidence that any nationality referred to as Palestinian today did not also refer to Jews prior to 1948. In other words, the definition changed for political reasons. Before the Ottoman rule of Palestine, there was no currency which existed for a group of people referred to as Palestinians. It didn't exist. In the 5th century, BCE. The Persians controlled that region and therefore transacted in Persian coins. Okay, Byzantine coins. The Byzantine Empire was also called the Holy Roman Empire. Byzantine coins were used in that territory after the Persian coins. And after the Muslim conquest, Islamic coins were used. Follow the money. Islamic coins appeared in that territory in 696 AD during the Umayyad era. During the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman lira was the currency used in that territory that is now referred to as Palestine. Several European currencies were circulating in that territory. Okay, they are side by side with Turkish currency under the Ottoman Empire, with for commercial transactions, and this was before the First World War, 1914 to 1918. Okay, French currency was the preferred currency at that time. When the British occupied Palestine, again, the Romans named it Palestine or Palestina. In 1917, the Egyptian currency was bought or was brought in by the troops, and that was the currency of exchange. Okay, that was the country's legal currency in 1917. In 1926, the British Secretary of State for the colonies appointed, listen, this is very interesting. In 1926, the Palestine Currency Board in 1926 was formed to introduce a local currency for Palestine. Okay? For the first time, there's a local currency in Palestine, and it's British. The board was based in London and was chaired by Percy G. Ezekiel, a Jewish name, with a currency. He was the currency officer in residence in Palestine. Okay, the primary responsibility of the Palestine Currency Board was to provide and control the supply of currency in Palestine. Again, this is British. And isn't it interesting that the board's chairman, Percy G. Ezekiel, was known for his signature on the PCB banknotes, which were printed in England? Was the Palestine Currency Board chairman a Jew? So far, I don't know for sure, but sure, his name sure sounds like he was. And considering the facts, he probably was. Leave a comment if you can verify. You're even allowed to criticize me and make fun of me as long as you're funny. Go ahead and share this. Leave a comment. Starting from November 1927, the Palestine Currency Board put into circulation a new currency, which in 1928 became the sole legal currency, the Palestine pound, equivalent in value to the pound sterling and divided into 1,000 mils. The Palestine pound was the currency of the British Mandate of Palestine from the 1st of November 1927 to 14th of May 1948, and the State of Israel between the 15th of May in 1948 and the 23rd of June in 1952. And at that point, it was replaced with the Israeli lira. Now, in the Gaza Strip, the Palestine pound continued to circulate until April of 1951. And at that point, it was replaced by the Egyptian pound. Okay, Yasser Arafat was installed as the Palestine Liberation Organization chairman in 1969. Ahmad Shakiri was the first chairman of the PLO Executive Committee from 1964 to 1967. And in 1967, he was replaced by Yahya Hamouda. When Hamouda stepped down from his chairmanship of the PLO, Arafat was elected chairman on the 4th of February in 1969. So Arafat became commander-in-chief of the Palestinian Revolutionary Forces, and then 2 years later, in 1973, he became head of the PLO's political department. And this is the beginning of Palestine as we know it today. The modern Israeli shekel was put into circulation on January 1st, 1986. The Israeli new shekel replaced the hyperinflated old shekel at a ratio of 1,000 old shekels for each unit of the new currency. The new shekel is the official currency of Israel, and it's also used as legal tender in the Palestinian territories of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. In conclusion, follow the money. Today, there are some people who are inciting violence and playing the victim. Don't fall for it. The truth can be ugly, but it can also be beautiful. Above all, love each other and treat each other with respect. That's my time. I get to get back to work. Visit my X profile to learn more. So, you know what? It's not necessary to follow me on X, aka Twitter, but I do follow others who are adding value and can have cohesive and coherent discourse without getting offended and emotional. But it's your choice. Team up with me to bring about serious advancement for each other. The plan is for our community to share with each other the systems, the processes, and the workflows that we are successfully using in order to help each other grow. All right, as I conclude this show, this is okay. I'm done talking about this for right now. All right, back to business. Listen, this is for investors. I know, talking about money. Let's talk about money. Oh man. All right, I'm going to wrap up today's show, but I invite you to visit my new company profile at Inveresta. Multifamily investors and motivated sellers, hit me up at Inveresta. Also, I have a newsletter that goes out every week on Thursday mornings. You can subscribe at this URL. It's a newsletter for anyone who agrees that success leaves clues. Go to hello.seanellenfinn.com/methods. Right now, I'm talking about not the Rockefellers. We talked about Rockefellers. Now we're talking about the Rothschilds. There's a lot of misinformation about the Rothschilds because they're Jewish. Well, that's not the only reason, but had a lot to do with it. And yeah, there's a lot of misinformation about the Rothschilds. Okay, but they were one of the wealthiest families in history. So that's what we're talking about today. Right now, I'm talking about World War II. One of the Rothschilds was held hostage by the Nazis. Even though there are some weirdos and conspiracy theorists who say that the Rothschilds funded the Nazis, totally the opposite is true. People are, anyway. That's all. That's what the newsletter is about this week. All right, I gotta go. I gotta wrap it up. I'll leave you with the latest song. I make music. It's totally not rational. It makes no sense. But I do it because I enjoy it. Definitely not for monetary gain. All right, it's just because I enjoy it. All right, peace out. I love you guys. Be good to each other. I like you. I really do like you. But don't take my word for it. Decide for yourself. Here's my latest song. It's called Put It All Together.
I need you to help me put Jump in.